Guadalupe Center's organized athletics and then our summer and after school programs have been around since the early 20s. I mean, after the wellness clinics and such forth, which is what the Guadalupe Centers was built around, the next need was to give the kids something to do so that they weren't running the streets, they weren't getting into trouble or be in trouble.
We want to more or less educate the mind and bring the body along with it. We've got a winner here within our community to bring these kids off the street into this gym and educate them. I'm working for that mind first. You know, if we develop that mind, eventually the coordinations will start working.
In the Mexican communities in the old days, there wasn't a whole lot to do. We had to make up stuff, and that's what we did. We played basketball and football and baseball, and we developed some real good ball players from those communities.
I was very involved in baseball. I loved baseball, and I was a captain, and I did pretty well, I thought. And then in them days, Guadalupe Center didn't have that yet, just for the boys, not for the girls. So my career in baseball was in high school. So it's one of my favorite has been. I probably always will be till I'm called.
Baseball was still going on even during the war, but it wasn't as popular then because a lot of the guys were in the service. But it picked up again in 1948, 1949, it picked up again.
They started developing softball teams. Pitchers would pitch and outfielders would get out in the park and chase fly balls, and before you know it, these guys were good, great ball players out there.
When I was younger in Kansas, some of the better players was they're from my family, the Salceda brothers. There were 6 of them. On this side, Missouri side, were the Hernandez brothers. We learned from playing against them as we were growing up. But the most fond memories that I have are when we used to go out of town and play against other Mexican teams. And when 2 Mexican teams get together, you fight it out on the field. But after the ball game, we all come together, y la comida, la cerveza, and have a good time in the music.
Our biggest rival at that time was a parish of a Sacred Heart. Just beating those guys was as good as winning a championship for us.
I grew up in the Argentine district. So, there's always a little rivalry between the Kansas side and the Missouri side in sports and a lot of other things. But it was friendly rivalry. When we used to play against the West side, Tony Aguirre was always the coach, It didn't matter what sport it was. He was the coach of every sport you can think of.
He gave a lot back to the community. There was 2 fellas, matter of fact, the other one was Joe Ramirez. They were really into keeping the kids occupied during the summer and in the fall.
I used to be in the softball team here, basketball team with Tony Aguirre. He taught me how to play all kinds of sports.
I think it's safe to say that without him contributing enormous amounts of his time and effort, there wouldn't have been a lot of sports teams and wouldn't have been organizations that kids could rally around, channel their efforts. He believed in fair, open competition, but when it comes to Latinos playing Latinos, he taught us it was more than just that. We needed to be more than competitors, we needed to be compadres.
My favorite part of baseball is meeting new people and see how they can do in baseball.
Okay.
My favorite part of baseball is hitting the ball with the bat. I'm looking forward to play for college teams.
There is tons of talent within our community, but if there's not a Guadalupe Center's rec program to get them started, we don't know what will happen if we don't give these kids this opportunity to express their talent. My dream is to bring that club type setting where we can start from T-ball to machine pitch, coach's pitch, and then these kids playing organized baseball, ready to tackle on college, and who knows, continue on playing maybe pros or the minors or somewhere in that. And that's where I see the organized piece of our athletic department at the Guadalupe Centers.